Greetings, everybody! Welcome to the Dracovin Empire. I hope you're ready to dive once again into the world of Golarion, the world of the Pathfinder role-playing game system. I've got a versatile heritage to talk about today, which is a very interesting one. But if you want to learn about it, you gotta go to Golarion. So be ready, I'm opening up a gate over here to drag us through. We're ready to go. Grab my hand. I will lead you through this gate, your host and guide to your Cancer adventure. Of course, remember, leave a tip. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a little bit of a comment down below over on the YouTube side of things. Or if you're over joining me live, make sure to comment. We go through the gate. The dragon. We arrived in Golarion. We're gonna settle down, a nice little bar on the edge of Absalom. Gonna enjoy a little bit things. Maybe get an ale and meet some of our interesting characters here. The Dragonbloods, who aren't quite half-dragons, but maybe replace half-dragons from earlier editions. I'll kind of talk about that as we go along here, because it's an interesting point to be in of whether they still exist. Half-dragon concept, which originally came from D&D, but really doesn't really feel like something that could be outside the realm of possibilities. Anyway, let's talk. Well, Dragonblood, as we know them, were introduced in Player Core 2. Yeah, that's pretty recent. Player Core 2 hasn't been out very long. So, again, it's one of those things is they are a new versatile heritage, and their relation to some of these old things like the half-dragon template, are they the full replacement of half-dragons? Are they something different? We don't know for sure. And I hope maybe you'll have your own opinions. Maybe you can let me know what you think about that in the comments below. What you think? How do these relate? Are they replacement? Are they maybe one of the possible sources of the descendants of half-dragons? Do we still have half-dragons? Are they just gone because of the Master Project? So who are they? Let's start out with that on some very good basics of a dragon. Basically, the easiest way to describe it, they're a mortal imbued with draconic powers. They have affinity and connections to dragon. This could be, of course, children born of draconic lineages. Hey, draconic lineage, gone from draconic, maybe there's a half-dragon in there, maybe not. Blessed by dragon affinity, or affected by some kind of draconic magic of some kind that could lead to this. Creatures that then are skirting the line between mortal and dragon. Having dragon appearances, affinities along dragon lines, things like that. That is kind of the essence of where we are with what a Dragonblood is in many ways. Powerful. Many of them tend to be involved with the groups they're in. Sometimes they're treated with reverence in smaller creatures. They can be protectors, deities incarnate. Again, it's what we come down to when it comes to dragons. Dragons are powerful. And similar to their kin, or as examples of their kin, dragons oftentimes mess around with people. That's why, Dragonblood can be seen in positive response for many things, because a dragon that, is a protector of small humanoids. A dragon protects a bunch of kobolds, or a Rooksea. Sometimes they can be seen as a god by these beings. Deity incarnate. Hey, here's my child of me, my divine messenger. There are also those dragons that basically hang out with human civilizations or other humanoid civilizations, with other ancestors, treating them as meat, hiding their identity, observe, sometimes to manipulate. Again, it depends on the individual dragons, their intent, their actions, whether wicked or valorous. And the thing is, they do impress people upon these encounters. And they will be memorable beings because they are as loud personality-wise, a dragon, as anything else. I'll probably have to do a specific video on the extended group of dragons and stuff. Maybe do one on Player Core or Monster Core dragons and Legacy dragons, and then talk about them. That's future. Anyway, a child can be born from this influence, and they are dragons. That's And again, that's the divine influence, or the I'm disguised as a humanoid, I fall, get into a relationship with someone. Oh man, that kid has some dragon features. That's weird. How did that happen? I'm totally not a dragon that was in, humanoid form or in ancestry form, something else that, you ended up having relationships with because we just were together for a while. I'm going to go leave now and be a dragon again. Good luck! They might stay in a relationship with us. Anyway, so, a Dragonblood could be born from any ancestor. I would say there is limits on that. Any ancestry that gives birth to children when they have, connections with another being. So, other ones that are more crafted, created, born into existence from other means might not be Dragonblood, but it does leave very few of the current Pathfinder entities you couldn't have Dragonblood for. I would probably argue against some of them just because it would be weird, but maybe there's reasons for it to exist in that way. So, maybe. I guess one of the constructed ones could have the divine dragon influence on it to be born as a Dragonblood. Alright, so never mind. Any ancestry. And they're also found across Golarion. Dragons are everywhere. They go wherever they want to go. So, a Dragonblood doesn't always possess full draconic traits. Some of them do. Some of them will have clawed hands, leathery wings, reptilian tails. Some effects that are basically linking to their draconic forebearers. And they will look like the dragon they are descended from or connected to. If you're an adamantine dragon, thick, having scales in the chest and plates. The other Dragonbloods closely resemble the dragon than the other half of the heritage, basically. Some of them are very heavily dragon-looking. So if you look at one, you'll be like, that's a really big, that looks more kobold, rooksy, reptilian, while they are technically considered a dragon, and many are actually proud of their draconic heritage, whether, again, from blood or mysticism, divine mysticism, you are being blessed by that dragon in a lot of ways. So it is seen as a blessing, and they're proud of it, and they'll let you know if you're making a mistake with that. Again, there are also those, a good example here, who have less appearance that looks very dragony. It could be something that's very subtle, small sheen to their skin, almost scale-like nature, small nubs of horn. Basically, also, personality and innate magical abilities could also link to some things for the dragon. If you're going to be in an area that has a lot of draconic influence, you're more likely to have Dragonbloods. Again, that could come from more, mystical connections, magical connections, or it could come from something a little bit more direct, bloodline-wise. TNZ, the Dragon Empires. Hey, there's a lot of dragons in that region, and they take a good interest in humanoid societies. There's a lot of Dragonbloods in TNZ because of this. Lands of Linorm Kings. Because they get that by slaying a Linorm and taking the curse of a Linorm against them. There are times that there are descendants of a Linorm King that sees the touch of draconic ancestry, in this case from the Linorms, the primeval dragons of the Fey. Why? There are also those that pay homage to the dragon deities, absolutely, the Hawk. And those communities that are connected to these actual dragon deities sometimes are blessed with Dragonblood births. Because of their worship and connection to a dragon deity, the blessing goes into them. So there is these, again, multiple kind of connections. You can see it's that kind of like draconic influence, magical kind of things, more arcane occult for something like the Linorm Kings, something more direct when we have the direct intervention of a lot of dragons in TNZ, and of course then the divine connections of things when it comes to the dragon gods, and their influence. But there's our basics of Dragonblood. As you can see, one of these lines does scream half-dragon, the descendants of dragons, or maybe dragons after them, after half-dragons, the ancestors and descendants of a half-dragon. it's really hard to tell where that line goes again. Because half-dragons were in still first edition, a legacy of 3.5 D&D. It was used to create Pathfinder first edition. And certainly speaking, the lore and existence of things has changed throughout Pathfinder into the second edition. We don't really see half-dragons the same way, and dragons the same way, even in second edition, leading for the remaster. So we might not have them, actually. We don't have templates like we used to. We don't have a lot of this kind of changes and strange things. So maybe this is where we have half-dragons. I think that's just an interesting thing to discuss with it, because the Dragonblood are, on their own, a very interesting and cool idea. It expands from just beyond the I'm descended from a dragon to there are other sources. Exposed to some kind of draconic energy, draconic artifact, a curse of a Linor can cause Dragonblood to be given. Divine blessings of a dragon god, or a nigh demigod of dragon who could kind of need something to have this power and this bloodline in them. And I do think that's, I guess, the idea they're expanding. It does allow other ancestries beyond those that just, do it through the old-fashioned means and bloodline means to have dragon. So there's a lot of interesting thought. I do think it's very neat, and again, if you don't see ever a half dragon again or something akin to this might be what you want. If you want to do a little bit of that dragon blood in you and have some cool ideas and neat, versatile ancestry, that I think was a really good addition to the versatile ancestors. Thanks, Player 4-2. Did a good job adding something. Alright, that will be it today. I hope you enjoyed joining me today. I hope you check out more of my stuff, whether, of course, it's going to be either live over on Twitch or over on the YouTube side. The schedule goes up earlier in the week. It tells you when I'm live over on Twitch and recording stuff, when I'm doing gaming streams, tabletop streams, discussing tabletop, Saturday 6. Also tells you what's being uploaded and when for YouTube. That's all up on my Discord, Blue Sky, X/Twitter, and then the community page on my YouTube site. I couldn't remember community for a second. Also great places for updates to that schedule, changes, things that are going on, all those kind of things. Discord's the best bet, but I do try to keep up with the other social media streams. Discord's really going to be your best bet. Keep up with it. Anyway, check out more of my stuff. Remember those things I said at the beginning, that tip, like, subscribe, ring the bell. Let me know what you think about all this and Dragonblood and stuff like that, and whether or not this is a replacement, a connection to Half Dragon. I'm kind of curious in that. Or what do you think of them on their own? Are you inspired to play Dragonblood characters? We can't just compare them to Half Dragon. We have to have them on their own merit too. Until the next time, I bid all of you out there adieu and farewell.